Tom Zoellner, Uranium, War, Energy, and the Rock That Shaped the World. Embark on an enthralling journey exploring the world of uranium, a radioactive element with monumental power, as detailed in Tom Zoellner's Uranium, War, Energy, and the Rock That Shaped the World. Discover how uranium has impacted both scientific progress and warfare throughout history, ranging from its use in ancient civilizations to its undeniable role in the development of atomic bombs during World War II. Learn about its dangerously unstable molecular composition, giving rise to nuclear chain reactions that can unleash devastating force. Witness the politico-socioeconomic dimensions of uranium mining and trade across the globe, as well as its influence on the drastic shift in global power relations through the Cold War and into the present day.
The Dangers of Uranium. Uranium, a natural substance, is the core element in an atomic bomb. Enriched U-235 is the most powerful form but is also highly unstable. A 20% concentration of U-235 can cause a spontaneous explosion, vaporizing a city. Although uranium is more common than tin, it's the heaviest element, unstable, and constantly disintegrating, registering as radioactivity. Furthermore, uranium is hazardous, penetrating the skin, killing healthy cells, causing cancer, and reorganizing genetic material. As uranium disintegrates, it decays into radium, radon-222, polonium-218, and lead-214. Radon-222 is the heaviest known gas, poses minimal danger in open areas but can cause cancer in closed spaces by embedding radioactive particles in the lungs. The Romans used uranium to tint stained glass, while native Indians utilized it for art, but it poses significant risks to life. The dark legacy of Congo's Shinkolobwe mine. The Shinkolobwe mine in Congo, owned by Belgium and the source of uranium for the bombs that ended World War II, has a dark past. The mine was part of the Congo Free State, a territory under King Leopold II's brutal rule, where forced labor and abuse were rampant. The native people collected ivory, lumber, and rubber sap, while miners were paid a pittance despite the high value of radium. The uranium was initially a worthless byproduct, but its value skyrocketed, highlighting the exploitation and suffering of Congolese workers and the dark legacy of colonialism. The untold story of the uranium that built the atomic bomb. The Manhattan Project was the result of several pivotal moments, starting with a letter from Albert Einstein to President Roosevelt in 1939. The massive undertaking required uranium, and lots of it. However, the U.S. had woefully inadequate supplies. That changed when Union Miniere official Edgar Sengier shipped uranium from the Shinkolobwe mine in Congo to the U.S. Two-thirds of the uranium used in the bomb dropped on Hiroshima came from this mine. The mechanics of the atomic bomb were diabolically simple and devastatingly effective. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki altered the course of history and left the world grappling with the morality and the power of nuclear technology. The story of the Manhattan Project is the quintessence of scientific ambition, political maneuvering, and events that changed the world forever. This riveting account by the Library of Congress tells the story of how the U.S. government, driven by paranoia and competition, raced to develop the atomic bomb before Germany was able to do the same. It began with a letter from Albert Einstein to President Roosevelt in 1939, which outlined the possibility of a powerful bomb using nuclear chain reactions and drew attention to the U.S.'s inadequate uranium supplies. The Manhattan Project was born out of this letter and was funded with meager resources, until information from England helped the U.S. catch up with its lackluster uranium research efforts. Enter Edgar Sengier, who shipped uranium ore from Congo's Shinkolobwe mine to the U.S. for the Manhattan Project, despite the government's lack of interest in uranium at the time. Sengier's assistance was vital to the success of the Manhattan Project, as two-thirds of the uranium used in the destruction of Hiroshima came from this supply. The mechanics of the atomic bomb were deceptively simple, sliding an enriched uranium pellet through a chute at a precise speed and then through a block of uranium started a chain reaction that unleashed neutrons and set off a powerful explosion. The bomb wasn't tested before it was dropped, the scientists behind it were confident it would work, and the US didn't have uranium to spare for a test. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki changed the world forever, sparking a fierce debate about the morality of using atomic bombs and the power of nuclear technology. The uranium used in the bombings of Japan was mostly from Shinkolobwe, the mine that played such a crucial role in the success of the Manhattan Project. The mine was closed down in the 1960s, but the world remains cautious about uranium to this day. This account brilliantly tells the tale of the fearsome substance, which has the power to destroy nations and alter the course of history. The Uranium Rush. After World War II, the world entered the atomic age, and the US and USSR engaged in an arms race, racing to extract new sources of uranium. The US offered incentives to prospectors, which led to the opening of one of the largest mines in Utah. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union used forced labor in uranium mines in Siberia, Urals, and East Germany to keep up with the US. Miners worked in dangerous conditions, with reports estimating that 1 in 7 became sick or died. In the US, uranium mining became a patriotic duty and a business, but the dangers of radiation were kept under wraps, and Native American Navajos suffered from the effects of the mineral. Ultimately, by the mid-60s, uranium exploration came to a close, and the US had amassed over 30,000 nuclear warheads. The global impact of uranium resources. The discovery of uranium in Australia sparked a heated debate on mining and environmental conservation, while Niger's uranium exportation depicts the resource curse in which undeveloped countries are deprived of the financial benefits of selling their resources. Niger's uranium was also a crucial part of the US decision to invade Iraq. Uranium smuggling remains a major concern, with 80 to 85% of such activity undetected. The nuclear energy controversy. Nuclear energy is gaining popularity due to its minimal pollution and high energy output. 200 new power plants are being planned globally, receiving billions in aid and tax relief. However, its environmental impact still divides opinion. Hedge funds have invested, and prospectors have returned to the hills for uranium, which the US and Russia poorly record. An estimate claims that enough enriched uranium for 8,000 warheads is unaccounted for in Russia.
Tom Zoellner's Uranium, War, Energy, and the Rock That Shaped the World reveals the immense power held within this radioactive element, highlighting its contributions to human civilization, scientific progress, and the annals of warfare and destruction. Through the study of uranium's unique properties, historical significance, and the socio-political aspects associated with its mining, trading, and use as a source of energy and weaponry, we gain a deeper understanding of the grave responsibilities and immense potential embodied by this influential element. Zoellner's book thus serves as a stark reminder of the crucial role knowledge plays in our continuing path of inquiry, pursuit of innovation, and our ability to wield power responsibly in an increasingly interconnected world.